Hey everyone, it's Pixel, and today we are going to be cooking a chicken gyro sandwich. We're going to be just focusing on the first part right now and get these marinating. And you're going to need 4 chicken thighs, 5 cloves of garlic, a teaspoon each of oregano, pepper, salt, and a little sprinkle of dill, the zest of 2 lemons, and about a half a cup of olive oil. Well, we better get this together if it's going to marinate. Alright, we've taken the skin and the bones out of our chicken thighs, and we're going to be putting in about a half a cup of oil. Our salt, pepper, oregano, and a tiny bit of dill. Our lemon zest. And our garlic. We're going to mix this up well in the bag and put it into our refrigerator for the next couple hours. I would say about 2 or 3 tops. I did want to mention before we put our stuff into the fridge for 3 hours that I needed to put about 1/4 of a cup of Dijon mustard in it also. And while our chicken is marinating, we'll throw together our yogurt cucumber sauce, which will take 3/4 cup of yogurt, 1/3 cup of mayo, 2 cloves of garlic, the juice of 1 lemon. We will need dill and salt, about a teaspoon or 2 each, and 1 cucumber thoroughly shredded up. Making the sauce will be simple. We'll just need to combine our cucumber, spices, lemon juice, garlic, and our mayo. When it's done mixing together, it'll look a lot like this. And we're going to be putting this into our refrigerator until we are ready to assemble our gyros. Okay, our chicken's been sitting in that fridge for a couple hours. And let's get it cooking on our hot pan. And we're going to let that cook for about 10 minutes total. I'll be back. The last step we're going to have to do will be making our flatbreads for our gyros. And that will require 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of oil, and 3/4 cup of a drafty beer. And making our bread shall be simple. We're going to put our 3 cups into the food processor, followed by salt, our yeast, and our oil. This is going to pulse together a couple times, and then we'll be adding in our last ingredient. We're going to turn our food processor on and add in our beer, which we have warmed up a little. Alright, once that is mixed together, we'll dump it into a bowl and I'll start forming it into dough. It is going to be noted that I added probably a good 1/4 cup of water to it because it was acting a little too crumbly for my liking. And I added it in small intervals. It might take a little less or more for you to be happy with it. But we're going to be forming this into a ball and it will sit aside for 15 minutes to rise a little bit. Okay, our dough has been sitting for 15 minutes and looks a lot more pliable. So we're going to be taking it to our board and cutting it into 4 pieces. As stated, you're going to want to cut your dough into 4 equal pieces and roll it out with your hands until you have a little ball of each one. We're only going to be working with 1 right away though. So to make our pita bread, we are going to be rolling out each of our 4 balls into a roughly flat, I would say almost 7 inches wide, 6 across, little pita piece, much like this. It's not super thick, not super thin. If it bounds back when you're rolling it out, just keep rolling a little. It'll come out to shape. In a minute, we're going to cook these babies. When it's ready, I'm going to heat up my cast iron pan and lay each one of them in one side down, obviously, to cook probably for about good 3 or 4 minutes on each side. You'll know your bread is getting done when it starts having a crustier top to it. and has really good little grill markings or a nice brown on each side. This one's almost done. We're going to add it to the stack, and then it's time to assemble our gyros. And gyro assembly is pretty simple. Almost like any other sandwich, you put the bread down, put a medium to small portion of chicken on it. Add some pico. And add our cucumber dressing that we made to put on it. I myself like a decent amount of it, but we're going to try this out in a moment. Alright, moment is here to try it. I'm going to admit one side looks a little messy because I tried to fold it up the other way and it didn't work. But you can fold yours in half, even eat it open-faced, roll it up almost like a burrito. Have to say, out of all the Greek things I've made, I do like this one. I think I'd like to make the pitas a little more thinner, because they are breaking up pretty easily. But that put aside, the flavors are awesome in this. I also think I'd like to make my own pico someday too. It's really not that difficult. I just kind of ran out of time this time. The chicken has a great flavor to it. Our dill sauce is amazing. I had a piece of bread left over that some of the stuff had fallen out of, and I dipped it in it, and oh, you could just eat bread in that alone. That would be honestly amazing dressing for even salads. Possibilities are endless sometimes. So, if you like what you saw, thought I could have done better, thought I could have done worse, leave me a comment, leave me a like. I'm going to go finish my gyro, because it's tasty.